Dear students, let's start 16.5 conservation. What the meaning of conservation? What do you think the goals of conservation? Conservation is the practice of protecting the environment. How can I protect the environment? And these practices are at the individual level or environmental or global level, national level. We're gonna know today conservation. Conservation methods can help protect and restore ecosystems. How can we restore ecosystems? Through sustainable development manage. Sustainable development in general manages resources for present and future generations. So the goal of conservation is to manage the use of resources for present, not only present, but also for future generation. Sustainable development meets needs without hurting future generation. We should get our needs without affecting the future generation, without making resources depletion or decreasing in the resources. Resources meet current needs and should also meet the future needs. Let's talk together about some of the practices. There is the timber industry or the wood industry. For getting wood, we should cut trees, but we should cut trees sustainably or wisely. The wise cut of trees by reducing the cutting of trees and by putting plans to let the trees to regenerate themselves. Also, another industry, fishing. Global fisheries have adopted several sustainable practices. There are many sustainable practices also for fisheries to use or to make this fishing wisely. How? Number one, by rotation of catches. How rotation of catches? They should put seasons for each species for catching each species according to their nursery seasons and their nursing seasons and their mating seasons. Also, fishing gear reviews. We should get good technologies for the fishing gears to protect the environment, because actually fishing gears sometimes affect other species or affect the floor, the sea floor, or affect the marine ecosystem in general. After that, harvest reduction. We should reduce the use or reduce fishing in some areas according to the time the fishes need to be replaced. Fishing ban. Sometimes we have to ban fishing in some areas to protect some species. So conservation practices focus on a few species but benefit the entire environment. Actually, the act of protecting individuals and species is called the Endangered Species Act. The Endangered Species Act is the law to protect endangered species. The Endangered Species Act works to protect individual species from extinction. This manatee, for example, is an endangered species, so we should protect this species from extinction. That's why there are many species that are often called umbrella species. Umbrella species are endangered species that should be protected, and by protection of the individuals of those species, the whole environment will be protected, or the whole ecosystem will be protected. So, for example, to protect this umbrella species, which is manatee, from extinction, I should provide this species with seagrass. So by protecting the manatee, I'll protect sea grasses, and also I'll prevent the large boats from coming to the area or the ecosystem or manatee. So in this way, I'll protect other species also from large boats. By providing the food for this species, I'll provide food for other species. So this species acts like umbrella for others to protect other species, other aquatic species, and also seagrasses. The habitat in which the species lives must be protected. So, of course, other species are protected because they share the same ecosystem. Another example of umbrella species, panda. Also, to protect panda, I should provide the panda with its habitat, with the food, which is bamboo trees. So I'm protecting not only panda, I'm protecting the whole habitat and ecosystem. Protecting Earth's resources helps protect our future. That's why there are many laws like Clean Air Act, Clean Water Act, Endangered Species Act. Clean Air Act is the law that is monitored by EPA. EPA is the Environmental Protection Agency, which was created in 1970. The EPA develops policies and regulations to protect the environment. And those are the three laws that are monitored by the EPA. Clean Air Act to monitor the air quality. Clean Water Act to monitor the water quality. Endangered Species Act to protect and provide the endangered species with good habitats to protect them from extinction. Also, by protecting the national parks through the National Park Service, which help manage public lands, the park system includes over 390 areas covering 84 million acres. There are several ways that people can help protect the environment. We can open our mind for the ways like, number one, we should control the population growth. We should control urbanization. We should protect the environment by decreasing pollution, by decreasing waste, by using biotechnology to get rid of waste to protect the environment. So the sustainable use of any of the resources also develop sustainable technologies, using technologies and practices to use renewable resources instead of using non-renewable resources, or the technologies that decreases the use of fossil fuel. Example, to use the fluorescent light bulbs instead of using the incandescent light bulbs. Also to protect the ecosystems and protect species from extinction. Thank you for your listening.